Can Zeke deke again? It's the coach. This is Madden 19, and it's the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, Ezekiel Elliott, fresh off 100 yards a week ago, as it'll be the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Seattle Seahawks. With that, we're off to Seattle for the 32nd and final home opener of the 2018 season. Standing by are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the Dallas Cowboys. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by Dak Prescott, the 135th pick of the draft back in 2016 from Mississippi State.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
They go play action here on first down. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker.
46.
Prescott from the gun. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
An early test for this defense. Here we go on third and inches. Here's Elliott, and he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. So much for picking it up on the ground on third down. Third play of the drive, and this defense showing strong early.
I wonder how much of that was scouting. I wonder how much of that was a gut feeling like, okay, let's just go ahead and sell out here and get after them, thinking they're going to run the football and stuff them early. because they've now set the tone. They've set a precedent right here. If you're going to try and run the ball against us, it could be hard going throughout this game.
So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
On first down, Wilson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Good to see this man running again. Here's Chris Carson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Now Austin. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
A first down throw for Prescott. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. And a look at Seattle's defense.
Finishing in the top 10 in the NFL with 12 sacks last year was Ziggy Ansah, and I just absolutely love his backstory. Went to BYU to run track, maybe play some basketball. Instead discovered a game he'd never played before, American football. And now look at a perennial double-digit sack guy in the league.
And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. A 2nd down throw for Prescott. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he's able to bat it away.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. 15 yards through the air and a first down. Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. A good convergence there defensively, only a yard, and it's second down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40. First down marker at the 31. It's third down.
46.
Here's Prescott. Flushed out right. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
A first opportunity in the red zone for the Cowboys. They've got it first and goal at the 7. To throw is Prescott. Being chased out left. And fights through one man. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
One man in the backfield. That's Elliott on second and goal.
46.
Looking to throw. Prescott drops it underneath to Elliott. A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's third and goal. This stadium once registered as the loudest roar ever recorded, and you can hear them now. Third and goal. He can run for it, and he will. And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. And forthcoming, a field goal try for the Cowboys. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And his kick is good. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it second down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
The numbers on the ground for Carson last week. 15 carries, 55 yards.
They've won 2 straight games, and they've done it with the running game as the focal point of their offense. So in this contest, I don't think about doing anything else. I continue to ride the hot hand that I've established and lead with the runners.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And here's the starting offensive unit for Seattle.
And wide receiver Tyler Lockett continues to improve as a route runner and a playmaker downfield. But let's not forget his main use, kick returner. Knows how to break open a game in that area as well.
A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. They only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. Here are the starters defensively for the Cowboys. In that win last week over the Giants, they were very good.
If I'm playing quarterback against this team, after what I saw on film where they had 5 picks last week, all I'm thinking about is taking care of the football, being very careful with it, and making sure I see my guys open before I throw it.
I might curl up in the fetal position.
That's not a bad idea.
I don't think he's going to do that, though. On 3rd down, Wilson. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he lost the football. And the Cowboys have recovered. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Amari Cooper and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. The early returns for him, very good to start this season. Interesting to see if he can keep up that torrid pace.
Yeah, when you're talking about averaging 100 yards a game as a receiver, extrapolate that over 16 games, and you're having a monster season. So, yeah, you love what he's doing early, but I think it's got to go back to the offseason, doesn't it? It's got to go back to the roots, spending time with the guy who's going to throw the ball to him, spending time watching tape, spending time reading defenses, and, of course, getting himself ready to play.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. Now Prescott. He's got his target. It's Cobb. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. They'll try the right side with Elliott. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26. They'll run with Elliott. Down right around the 25. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Decent gain on the scramble of 6, but now it's 4th.
I like this effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. Now the try here for the extra point. The point after is good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to balance that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
This is Carson trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. In on the stop, it was Dorrance Armstrong. Fourth-round guy, and many thought that's about where he would go. But I think he's got some upside, right?
He can come right in and be what they call a core special teams player, play on all four phases of it, and have a chance to work his way into the lineup. I think a year or two down the road, they could have a solid starter.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
They go play action now. Wilson. And the third down pass falls incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now here come the Cowboys. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The first down carry by Elliott. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now to 3rd and 6.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down. One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And a solid run down inside the 30. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. On 2nd down, Elliott might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. And we remind you, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. On 3rd down, Elliott. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. A dump off to Elliott. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
Umpire through the flag usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
Prescott now on 2nd down. That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness.
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Cowboys will extend their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Extra point up and through. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
And he's got his man on the out route.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. A big play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that cuts this lead down to 13. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead. But a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Prescott on 1st down. Airing it out for Hearns. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Tedrick Thompson picks it. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air. And then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Wilson. And it's hauled in by Ed Dixon. And he takes this down deep on the Cowboys side of the field. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Seahawks have made this a one-score game.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a one-score, 6-point game. Now it's Wilson. Dallas gets set to take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
He's going to let it go again. And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be 2nd down. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Prescott again. Keeps himself upright. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A good pickup there, a 22.
46. Here we go, 46. 26.
First down, Prescott. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it, and he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports halftime report. Time for a look around the NFL here in Week 3 of the new year. We'll get started up at FedEx Field in our nation's capital, where it was the visiting Packers who were able to come in and win this one on the road. Aaron Rodgers, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. From there, let's get over to Arizona to check on the Cardinals at home in Glendale. And they trail the visiting Chicago Bears. 2 touchdown passes there for Mitchell Trubisky. Finally, let's get to Philadelphia. Check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And they fall in that one to the visiting Indianapolis Colts. Andrew Luck, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. In the game you're watching, you've seen a strong first half out of Dak Prescott. His guys are out in front as we send you back up to the Pacific Northwest, where we rejoin Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or they want to take the big strike and go after it right now.
It's a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
On 3rd down, that's Carson. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it and pick up first downs. When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
On 3rd down, Wilson. And a throw right sideline is complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A very solid gain of 27. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. From the shotgun, Wilson. And that is caught on the right right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at second down. When tapping those toes, he tried to get both in bounds. He could not do it, though.
In tap dance parlance, could not complete the shuffle. All right, needed to get that shuffle down with both feet, not just one.
Is that what they say?
There it is. You know, put a little sand down on the stage.
I'll take your word for it, my man. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So another third down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Seahawks are now just an extra point away from moving out in front. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that will put them on top here in the third. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Yeah, this is going to put them back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Over the middle, it's complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. The give is to Elliott. And very little room to maneuver. They'll get this down to about the 39. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense. Tim carry now for Elliott. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation. Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half. On 3rd down, that's Elliott. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft. If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs, because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short. Again to Elliott. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And they're going to have a 3rd down. He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Ziggy Ansah in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Back now in Seattle, Washington. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the 4th. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, 79 yards. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors. But that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is making sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now it's been a really tough ball game trying to stop these offenses.
It really has, especially as of late. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down. 2nd down, Prescott eluding the pressure right. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
46.
Prescott looks to throw on 1st. Steps away to his left. He gets it over the middle to Cobb. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. A 2nd down throw for Prescott. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Here we go, 46. Gun. 26.
Prescott from the gun. Flush to his right. A bullet throw, but incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And no, it's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. He'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. I've seen, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation. Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon. With this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. Now Wilson on 2nd down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Play action. Now Wilson. Going for a right side here. Complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That goes for a gain of 31. Big hook up there. Forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Robert Quinn in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 17. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line, linebackers really work well together.
And this won't get there. Won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right, and this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, 2nd down. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Back to throw. And on the left side, he's got Witten. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Prescott now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Here we go, 46, 46. 46.
Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, second down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Got his man there, complete to Gallup, and he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the fourth. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamar Taylor. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. That's about as tough as they come. You're driving to try to put the ball in the end zone and tie the game, and that happens.
It's exciting for us, wasn't it? Because we were thinking, hey, we might be headed towards overtime. Instead, it looks like this one may very well be done. And guess what? If you're a fantasy owner and you have that defense, you just had a big, big game, didn't you?
A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this run.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And they will take a knee here. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for the Seahawks, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for Dallas, they suffered defeat for the first time as they dropped to 2-1. And they'll get a home date next week against the Detroit Lions. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL.
You have a player healed from injury and ready to play. Welcome to Draft Week. All the effort you spend scouting comes down to this. Start the draft when you're ready.